Hey guys, this is for men who are facing some sort of spiritual crisis. You know, 2020 and what looks to be what's going to happen in 2021 resulted in a lot of isolation, a lot of people being alone, and uh, this sometimes causes people to have some really challenging thoughts and emotions and memories, and all that internal inevitable introspection can create a bit of a crisis. And here's a couple of things that I want you to know if you're a man going through this, so that you can have some help navigating it. First, what is happening in a spiritual crisis is the man that you want to be, the man that you are. If we could be so bold as to say, the man that you are destined to be. Like, that man is trying to come to life. And the man that we all have developed at some point to try to protect ourselves, that man is trying to keep him down. This man, the man that's trying to keep the other one down, is the mask of our identity, how we want people to perceive us, these things. And it's creating this civil war, seeming civil war inside of you that makes you wonder, which part of you do you trust? So the first thing that I want you to know is that what's happening is your values, your actual values, are trying to make a stand in your life, for you to make a stand in your life. The second thing to know is, how do you know what to trust? Look, man, I'm going to tell you, if you're going through it, if you're going through a tough time and it's a real spiritual crisis, dude, you don't trust any thoughts. You don't trust any thoughts, because every thought is just a thought, and you can get to some pretty dark alleys if you start believing those thoughts. So you just know that every thought is just a thought. That's it. And the way that you connect to what is real is by doing something pretty simple, but it's breathing. It's breathing. It's breathing and feeling the way that it moves your body. Because then you know, all right, you've oriented yourself in space, and you know, okay, I'm okay. I might be having all these scary thoughts, and it might be like really crazy, but I'm okay. I can feel myself breathing. It's a calming. It will help you. And the third thing to know, the third valuable thing to know if you're going through a spiritual crisis as a man, is that this is meant for your good. Man, I hate saying it like that. I wish I would have said it differently. Because when it says like that, it sounds like the kind of punishment that your parents give you when you're a kid. It's for your good. I don't mean it like that. I mean, it's kind of like when I was maybe when I was a teenager and I started hitting my growth spurt, which was pretty late, by the way. When I hit my growth spurt, I remember my legs aching a lot, and come to find out, these are growing pains. Your bones are growing longer. At least that's the story I was told. Anyway, they're growing pains, and they hurt, and sometimes you couldn't sleep because of it. And it's kind of like this. It's kind of like this emotionally. Our psychic self, our emotional self, is growing up, and it's taking the place of what our adolescent emotional maturity, or maybe young man emotional maturity even had, and establishing who you really are. So 3 things to keep in mind. 1, it's your values coming to the surface. Look, there's all sorts of things that could create this type of experience. A breakup could do it. Breakups are big for creating a spiritual crisis, where you really wonder, man, who do I know who I am? That's the real question. That's the real question. And that's why it's so scary, because sometimes we don't. Most I'd say most people don't actually. So, one, it's your values. That's trying. Think of it as like yourself trying to get to know yourself. The second thing is don't believe anything that you think, and just breathe. And third, know that the best version of you is coming out of this. And even in the difficulty, there is heroism and valor and courage and much respect for facing the things that are so scary.